Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again, I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to, I believe this is part 16 or something of my Let's Play Doki Doki Blue Skies. In the previous episode, things got extremely interesting because we, after a suggestion made by Monika, Yuri and I went to the fireworks show, and we kissed for the first time, and now we are officially dating. Boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. So it's very interesting to see how this all opens up, and then we entered Act 3 after we did that, and it is Old Wounds. It's called Old Wounds, the act, the chapter thing. So that sounds interesting, intense mostly. So I'm curious and also terrified to see what's going on. But okay. As my eyes slowly flutter open and the last vestiges of sleep leave my body, I run my hands through my hair, thinking about how my life is in its current state. Compared to how last January started, it's definitely a lot different. For one, I actually have a girlfriend now. We kissed and it's a given that we like each other, so why do I still feel a little uneasy? Sayori? Is it because I still find it hard to believe that Yuri likes a guy like me? That could also be the case. A clever, gorgeous, sophisticated girl like that? Self-doubt really has a way of eating you up from the inside. There's no point dwelling on it, Mark. She chose you for a reason, okay? Yeah, this year has got off to a good start, so let's keep it that way. I'm very certain that that's not gonna stay that way for some weird reason, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm playing a game called Doki Doki Literature Club. A slow smile creeps onto my face as I get out of bed and start my morning routine. It's going to be an interesting... I can promise it's going to be an interesting year. Well, one thing I could do without is the bitter cold. It's always freezing around this time of year. At least I'll have Yuri to warm me up. Or your gloves if you don't fucking forget them all the time. Her love for snuggling up with indoors with a book in hand might just come in very handy. And she's also so warm whenever we hug. Really interesting patch of wall, huh? In an attempt to hastily break out of my trance, I make a mental effort to bring myself to focus on the girl in front of me. Oh, yeah, hi. What's your name again? What? Emmy. Emmy giggles. Come on, this is the first time in a while that I've been early, so I want to... Oh, this is the first time in a while that I've been early, so I want to see the look on Sakurai's face. I grin. Lead the way. How was your Christmas break anyway? Pretty good, yeah. She must have picked up on the happiness in my voice as she bounces on the spot excitedly. I can tell what her next question is going to be. Oh? And why is that? Well... It's always nice spending Christmas with some friends, you know? There's a mischievous little smile on her face that puts me slightly on edge, especially when those friends are girls, huh? And of course, that mischievous smile on her face is followed by a knowing smirk. What are you trying to say, Emmy? Yuri, Mark. Wait, that is her name, right? The girl with the purple hair? Yeah? Why? Nothing. I saw you guys together on New Year's Eve, that's all. Well, there goes my hopes of being subtle. So tell me everything! Thankfully, I'm spared from telling Emmy everything as the classroom door swings open and Sakurai strolls in. After setting down his papers, he turns to address the class. Morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good break. Mark certainly did. I nudge her in the... I full on dive bomb into her ribs and she's taken straight to the ER. Oh, and why is that? Come on, brain, think of something. If you can somehow convince a girl like Yuri to like me, you must be capable. I'm just, well, I did a lot of reading on the 20th century history, so I'm in a great position to hit the ground running this semester. We hit the ground running, did it make sense not to hit for fun? Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. Sakurai doesn't look entirely convinced, but he nods. Oh well, I'm sure you'll be able to answer a lot of the questions that are coming up then. He chortles and turns to face the blackboard. I glare at Emmy. Enemy? Emmy. Only to be met by a childlike grin. The 1920s and 1930s, guys. Believe me, these are some interesting years. And just like that, the lessons begun. Sometime later, I find myself wandering down to the club room. As I get closer to the door, I spot a familiar figure. A nervous smile works its way onto my face. Ah, hi Yuri. Good morning, Mark. Morning, Yuri. It's nice to see you again. He smiles shyly. There's no hiding the red blush that's crept up onto her face. And you, Mark. There's an awkward silence for a moment. Of course, it's a given Yuri doesn't really know how to take a compliment, although that's part of what makes her so endearing. Shall we go inside then? Don't know about you, but I'm kind of hungry. I'm turning into Sayori now? She looks relieved at the change of topic. Yes, I was just about to suggest that. It's rather convenient timing that we were both let out at the same time, don't you think? That, or both of our teachers happen to be hungry. You're the analytical one here, so I'll leave that to you. With a small laugh, she opens the door and leads us through. To my surprise, we're the last ones in. Monika and Sayori look deep in conversation about something, while Natsuki has her face firmly hidden behind some manga. The girls look over, while Monika and Sayori do, and give us a brief smile before turning back to their conversation. Should we go over and talk to them? Yuri pauses for a moment as her eyes briefly go over the other club members. She eventually shakes her head. Well, I wouldn't. It seems like they're all engrossed in their own thing. Fair enough, works for me. We both take a seat and pull out our food. Unsurprisingly, Yuri's meal looks a lot fancier than mine. I motion towards it. Homemade, I'm guessing? Yes, you can never go wrong with vegetables and stir-fry. With a vegetable stir-fry paired with rice, the combination of flavors is always satisfying to the taste buds. Yeah, I remember you saying. Oh, I don't sound like a broken record, do I? Huh? No, not at all. I just remembered because I thought it was really interesting how food meant so much to you. She doesn't look entirely convinced, but she starts eating nonetheless. A brief silence falls between us. Even though she's looking at her food, I get a shrewd suspicion that her focus is elsewhere. Say, Mark, Have you given much thought to what you want to do after school? There we go. Probably go home and watch anime. Why? I briefly make eye contact, seeing Yuri narrow her eyes, trying to figure out if I was being sarcastic or serious. It's strangely enjoyable in a silly sort of way. Eventually she realizes I'm joking and smiles as she shakes her head softly. You know what I mean. Truthfully, I don't really know. It's not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, if I'm being honest. I probably should give it some more thought though, but I guess it just isn't high on my priority list. My eyes wander over to Sayori and Monika. Sayori looks like she's a little sad about something, while Monika is apparently trying to cheer her up. Oh god, no, please, no! Come on, Sayori! The sight of them talking makes me feel grateful, but also a little guilty. As much as I've enjoyed spending time with Yuri, I haven't really seen much of Sayori over the past few months. Yeah, that's exactly what I said! Still, it's good to know that she has other friends, right? Don't try to make excuses now, come on. Given how we're only second years, it's understandable. I return my gaze to Yuri. Judging by the look of your face, you've probably spent a little more time than I have on the matter. I suppose you could say that. Let me guess, you want to go to university? To study something like Japanese? Was that really that obvious? It was just a really fitting pick, that's all. I suppose it is. I imagine you're excited to go. To university? Yes and no, actually. On the one hand, university can be such a stimulating place. The amount of things you can learn while you're there. In high school, you're naturally limited by what your teachers choose to teach. From what I've gathered, you've given much more independence at the undergraduate level. But on the other hand, I've been at school for almost all my life. To make that jump, especially if I were to go to a new part of the country, well, it definitely invokes a lot of anxiety. There's a comfort to be had in routine. I know exactly what to expect. Well, for the most part, with school. Humans naturally dislike change, and as exciting as I think higher education will be, it comes at a cost. Well, when you put it like that, yeah, I can definitely see what you mean. But I think it's something we have to go through at some point, right? Even if we just go straight into a work after leaving school. My eyes wander over to Natsuki. Her position hasn't changed in the slightest. Man, that manga must be pretty damn good. Yuri follows my line of sight. Her eye lands on Natsuki as well. Given the already thoughtful look on her face, it's hard to tell if her thoughts have changed. Natsuki is only her first year, so I suppose there wouldn't be much sense in having this conversation with her. I just kind of realized that all of us are going to leave school 1 year earlier than Natsuki. She's going to be completely alone in the literature club, which is going to be extremely fucking sad. Because of course, yeah, she's a few years younger than us. I don't think my post-school plans have crossed my mind back when I first got into high school. What about Sayori? Have you ever spoken about this with her? Not really. We only began talking to one another a couple of months ago, and I catch myself just in time, mentioning that Sayori and I haven't had much time to ourselves because I've spent so much time with Yuri. Would just make Yuri feel bad. Well, I guess there hasn't been a right time. Besides, she never really struck me as someone who really gave much thought to her future, kinda like me. Whereas someone like Monika, well, the impression I get from her is that she's probably got a plan. I chuckled to myself, remembering how my parents used to say that my school years would flash by in a blink of an eye. I've had this conversation with Mom and Dad before. It was a while ago, though. I think they wanted me to go to university, so I guess our plans aren't too far off. Guessing you had a similar conversation with your parents, right? Yuri? Yes, I think so. The vague, uncertain nature to her answer throws me off guard for a moment, but I'm not given much time to push it as Monika suddenly turns to us. Hey you two, sorry about not saying hi just now, I was a little preoccupied. It's all good, everyone seems to be doing their own thing, so I don't think anyone really noticed. You okay, Sayori? You looked a bit down when we walked in. Oh, I'm fine. What made you think that? I don't know, I guess it just looked like Monika was trying to cheer you up about something. Just how I interpret the situation, that's all. There's nothing wrong, silly. How was your New Year's Eve? I glanced towards Yuri. There's a faint blush on her cheeks. It was really something. The look on Sayori's face goes from quizzical to understanding as she puts two and two together. Woo, you two! You're together, aren't you? I reach out and gently weave Yuri's hand into mine. Yeah, we are. Neither was something going on between you two. I'm so happy for you guys. Sayori's smile was so huge, almost bordering on insincere. Great. That's precisely what this club needs. Lovey-dovey mushy stuff. I'm surprised you'd even notice that mushy stuff with how absorbed into your manga you seem to be. It doesn't block out the sign of people kissing, you know. That sounds like it came from personal experience. She dips her manga down to glare at me. I grin as I raise my free hand in a comedic display of self-defense. To be fair, she has a point. PDAs are a major no-no for me. PDAs? I don't know what it means. Don't worry, we'll save all the physical stuff for when you guys aren't around. Oh, okay, did I make a weird triple dot? Oh god, look at them all. I mean, everyone except Yuri looks like sad. In a way, like Sayori just looks sad. Natsuki looks sad, and Monika looks kind of like yeah, it's funny, but at the same time I'm also fucking sad. What? Why are you all looking at me like that? You never really think before you open your mouth, do you? What do you mean? The sound of the bell ringing cuts my question short. And soon after, the sound of scraping chairs fills the air as everyone starts packing up. It's only as we're heading out towards the door I realized why what I just said caused so much awkwardness. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Guys! But Monika, Natsuki and Sayori are already gone. Desperately, I turned to Yuri. You know what I really meant, right? I awkwardly rubbed the back of my head. Yuri? You know, you're quite endearing when you fly. I am quite endearing! She smiles and heads off. Oh, this game is on! I'm flustered, you say? It's nice to have a day to myself for once. Seems like it's been a while since I haven't made plans for the weekend. Funny thing, what joining a single club can do to your social life. That's probably an exaggeration on my part though. I'm just used to staying in on the weekends that whenever I do go out, it's a huge deal in my mind. Let's see, what should I do? I'm suddenly overwhelmed by the possibilities. Well, I guess I could start by brushing my teeth and getting dressed. A fresh minty taste permeates my mouth. Permeates. That's how you pronounce it. Permeates. I pronounced it for like 15 million times. Permeates. I know whatever. Unfortunately, orange juice is just out of the question for now. Reminds me of that Vine from Thomas, I believe. He like, oh, you think you're tough? And then he brushes his teeth and then he grabs a pack of orange juice and he drinks it. Like, oh, stay the fuck away from me, man! Might as well make another foray into the world of cooking. What was one of the recipes Yuri told me about before? Egg rice? Sounded pretty simple back then. Let's see if it actually is. I half-heartedly swill some rice around in a bowl full of water. It's been a while since I cooked rice for myself. I'm just too impatient to wait for it to cook. Let's start. Egg rice is pretty good. The mouthful is kind of slimy, but the taste is there. I don't know if I actually cooked it correctly, but how badly could I have messed up on such a simple recipe? I might make it again the next time I'm too lazy to make something more complex. Which is to say, basically every meal. This has to be one of the more healthy. This has got to be more healthy than instant meals though, right? I wonder if Yuri's eating this right now, too. She did say that she eats it for breakfast quite often. It's like the cheesy saying where people are connected by the same moon overhead. But instead of the moon, we're connected by eggy rice. Yuri does wake up Yuri does wake up way earlier than me though, so she's probably finished eating by now. Speaking of Yuri, I should probably make some headway on one of the countless books she's recommended to me if I want to be able to keep up with her. Let's see. I've only gotten through a few more chapters in the book, but I'm already feeling restless. The plot isn't bad, but the themes seem a bit elusive to me. It interestingly employs a stream of consciousness style of narration. Two that I'm not used to reading. Why the hell is there a 2 there? 2 that I'm not used to reading. Oh, whatever. I wonder if Yuri ever gets bored when reading. It's not like she's some inhuman reading machine, so she must be some writers she dislikes. Knowing her, she'd probably be the type of person to soldier on and finish the book anyway, despite her feelings towards it. Maybe I should go outside and stretch my legs for a bit. And then come back to the book later with fresh eyes. The type of winter day outside... It's the type of day outside that's sunny yet still chilly. Well, I don't know about you, but it looks pretty grey outside, but okay. The clear cold sunshine lights up the uniformly grey sky. No, it's just grey. There's no sunshine here. This kind of sunlight has always reminded me a bit of the hue of fluorescent lights. Makes the air seem strangely crystalline. Fortunately for me, it's not cold enough to warrant bundling up in a bunch of layers. It's just my sweater is enough to keep me comfortable. Some people have crazy cold tolerances. I'll never be able to reach the levels of girls who can wear skirts in freezing weather. Speaking of which, there's a girl in a skirt approaching me. It looks like she's walking her dog. Hey, is that Sayori? Oh, hi. Hey, Sayori. What's up, Mark? I didn't know you lived this close to me. Oh, is that your house over there? I wouldn't say I live too close by. It's just that I take really long walks. Oh, maybe you should go on a run with Emmy sometime. Also, are all my friends female? I kind of just like realized that all my friends are female. Like, I mean, like, it's good, you know, like, but it's a bit strange. I would have expected at least one male friend. But the only male friend in this entire series is my history teacher. As if I'd be able to keep up with her. Anyway, it's just my dog really likes being outside. So we hit 2 birds with 1 stone by getting both me and my dog exercise this way. Isn't that right, Muchi? Muchi barks cheerfully in response, wagging his tail furiously. Muchi, that's a cute name. It matches his looks too. He really is a huge ball of white fur. Yep. Samoyeds look... Oh, is that the dog breed? Samoyeds look kind of like gigantic blobs of white Muchi, don't they? I mean, maybe if you squint really hard and have terrible vision. You just don't know how to appreciate dogs or Mushi. Mochi? Muchi? I don't know. Apologize to any of my Japanese watchers for the absolutely butchering of your language, which I'm hoping to learn at some point, by the way. So you are out enjoying the sunny day, the grey day. I don't know if you've looked around, Sayori, but grey day as well. Or are you gonna pop back into your nasty otaku den after this? I don't know what that means either. Well, I decided to take a walk. Hey, I don't have a nasty otaku den, whatever that may mean. I wouldn't even call myself an otaku, whatever it means. Is that the same as a NEET? I guess so. Just because a guy dabbles in the occasional anime or manga doesn't mean he's an otaku. Why do you keep like throwing it around? Okay, well, it's time to figure out. How do you write it? Otaku, okay. Otaku. It's a Japanese term for people with consuming interest, particularly in anime and manga. It is contemporary. Its contemporary use originated with a 1983 essay. Otaku may be used as a pejorative. It's negative, stemming from a stereotypical view of otaku okay, so social outcast, and the media's reporting. According to studies published in 2013, the term has become less negative, and an increased number of people now identify themselves as otaku, both in Japan and elsewhere. Out of 137,734 teens surveyed in Japan in 2013, 42.2% self-identified as a type of otaku. Okay. Okay, it's geek or nerd. Okay. Don't forget the video games. Oh yeah, wait. Don't worry, I won't tell any girls about it. How do you even know what what hobbies I'm into? Look, just because I don't confiscate the manga you read in class doesn't mean I don't notice it. You should be thankful you have such a chill class rep. Otherwise, next time you swap manga with your buddies, you might find yourself in huge trouble. Says the girl who wildly modifies her uniform. And just so you know, the girls I hang out with don't mind those things. Ooh, burn! One of them doesn't. She's got pink hair and she's pretty small, and she's the youngest one here. But no. None of them care, okay? Or at least I don't think so. Pfft, I'm just teasing you, Mark. Yeah. Do you have to cram school? Do you have cram school or something after this? I assume that's why you're wearing your uniform out on a Saturday. Huh? No, it's just a habit from my old school. Used to go to this really prestigious private school that required everyone to wear their uniforms outside. Like every high school student wears their uniform when they go to academic related things like cram school. But we had to wear our uniforms when we were just hanging out outside school too. Something about holding ourselves accountable for our conduct both in and out of school. Sounds suffocating. No kidding. The headmaster had a giant stick up his butt. So are you overcompensating with your current uniform then? Making up all those years you couldn't customize your uniform? Yeah, let's just say that I'm glad the rules are less strict at our school. Muchi suddenly barks and tugs his leash, causing Sayori to stumble a bit. Okay, Mushi. Yeah, Muchi, I don't know. Looks like he wants to get going now. See you at school. Yeah, see ya. Muchi runs off with the struggling Shiori in tow. As if Shiori's the one being walked by her dog. Well, we should probably head back to finish my book anyhow. It's night by the time I flip over the last page of the novel and snap the cover shut. That's one book down, 1 billion more to go. Are you proud of me yet, Yuri? I'm about to contemplate rewarding myself by binging an anime series when my cell phone rings. Speak of the devil, it's Yuri. I'm guessing that she's not calling to praise me on my literary accomplishments. Nice, and then that's the picture. Hey Yuri, what's up? Ah, hello Ark. Just calling to say hi? Oh yes, I suppose so. Am I interrupting something? I hope I'm not bothering you. Nah, don't worry, you're all good. I just finished one of the books you recommended me. Oh, which one? It was that translated story about the thief who gets released from jail and becomes obsessed with the people who put him there. And how did you like it? I think I liked it overall, but it kind of made me feel a bit depressed too. How so? Well, the protagonist definitely isn't totally moral himself. I mean, he's a thief and ends up killing people by the end. But I couldn't help sympathize with him. He lost everything while in jail, even his family, and just couldn't find his way back into society. It is true that he absolutely couldn't help but slip back into his old ways though. I guess not. He did have a mentor who gave him shelter and advice. Still, I find myself agreeing with him when he started to become a sort of anarchist revolutionary. I suppose you commiserated with the lack of justice from the protagonist's point of view. Yeah, I did like how ironic the ending was. The main character spends the whole book calling his enemies traitors and dogs, but in the end he gets killed by police dogs. I think that I would agree with you on the story being rather melancholic? Whatever. It is quite the existential bit of literature. However, I do disagree with the protagonist's actions myself. The way I see it, while the main character's life is unfair in some aspects, he also uses anger and anarchistic ideas to hide his own flawed character. After all, the story employs first-person narration and stream of consciousness, so there's an element of unreliable narrator there. That's true, he did try to justifying some pretty bad things. But in the end, death is the greatest equalizer. Just as the protagonist dies, so shall his supposed enemies. It really makes you think about the futility of life. Yeah. Don't really know what I'm supposed to say to that. Man, what a depressing turn this conversation's taken. Do you think the main character could have changed though? I mean, if he were a real person or something? Well, it's not as though people are locked into certain personalities and dispositions at birth. I believe that people's experiences can deeply change how they see the world. The main character certainly had the ability to change, but all the events that happened to him caused him to become misanthropic and embittered. I'd agree with that. This kind of touches with the nature versus nurture debate too, right? Nature versus nurture, one of the biggest questions regarding the human condition. I'm inclined to focus on how people's environment affects them, rather than what they are genetically predisposed to do myself. That's one of the reasons I love reading people's both real and fictional stories so much. You get to see how the characters develop through all the conflicts they endure. It's almost like a parent watching their child grow, but sped up to fit more in the few hours that it would take you to read the book. It might only take you a few hours, but it'd probably take me much longer than that. It doesn't seem to take a long time when you become completely absorbed by the story. And what's amazing about literature is that it can even make you sympathize with despicable people by showing you how their mindsets are warped by their experiences. But how do you know how much of a person's personality can be attributed to nature or nurture? There's nowhere where you can measure that kind of thing. Oh, good point. What if your brain is wired in a way that makes you more likely to enjoy things like literature and tea? Maybe dopamine gets released in your brain in a different way than it does to mine. That's just an example though, I'm no neuroscientist. Perhaps how much is the wrong question. Maybe more accurate to ask something along the lines of how nature and nurture interact. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the okay, well thanks for the incredibly in-depth conversation there, Yuri. I'm glad you enjoyed the novel. I may be sending more recommendations your way soon. Hold on, I've still got a long list of books to go. Thanks for giving me all these recommendations though, it's really helped me ease me back into the literary world. Well, if you count the children's books, I read as a kid, part of the literature world. Of course, Mark, I'm always happy to share my love for literature with others. I can practically hear the smile in their voice. You know, this is actually the first time today I picked up my phone to use. Do you call people often then? Nah, I mean, I mostly use it to play games and read random posts online. Reddit. Today's been really quiet for me though, in a good way. All I did was cook, read and go for a walk. Oh, and talk to you. That sounds like a lovely day. Quite similar to mine actually. Yeah, seems like you're really rubbing off on me. We laughed together a bit at that. The gentle moments with Yuri, I wish they could last forever. I hope that's a good thing. Are you kidding me? Of course it is. My mom would kill me for a daughter like you. I realized too late what I just implied. Good one, Mark. You're probably gonna hang up from embarrassment now with how shy she is. I mean, you definitely have better grades than me and stuff. I'm sure you're simply doubting yourself. Anyway, it's getting a bit late now, so... Yeah, well, I'll talk to you later. See you in school. See ya. Cool ended. Smooth, Mark. Smooth. Nice. Also, she just fucking randomly called and we just like had an entire conversation about like the in-depth workings of that book that she suggested. Actually, hang on a minute, hang on. Did she say see you tomorrow? Oh no, okay, see you in school. Yeah, I was about to say, because this was a Saturday. Another day, another 7 or so hours to spend indoors at school. Countless hours lost training to enter the rat race of corporate life, conditioning us to equate wealth to self-worth. Well, let's get dressed. No time for breakfast today, unfortunately. I'm not going to degrade myself by running around with toast in my mouth either. So an empty stomach it is. Oh, come on. It's not that much of a bad thing. Maybe I can grab a coffee from the vending machine somewhere. I wouldn't mind snagging bread from the school store either. Melon bread always has been my favorite, if a bit childish. Sayori always liked it a lot too. Well, I guess she'd like any kind of sweet bread. Oh, curry bread is really good as well. It's definitely a comfort food for me. Fried bread with a curry filling. Man, I'm making myself hungry. You're only torturing yourself here, Mark. I can't help but feel something niggling at the back of my mind. It's a weird, nebulous feeling, like something's just a bit off. I told me I forgot something. I quickly hoisted my bag in my arms. I rifled through its contents. Nope, looks like all my homework and workbooks are here. Well, no use driving myself crazy over it. I think you're missing a little girl called Sayori. Well, not necessarily little girl, but, you know, Sayori. If I have all the stuff with me, I can probably wait. It's probably not that important anyway. Within a few minutes, the school comes into view. Wait a minute. I stopped cold, mentally facepalming myself. I'm not walking with Sayori! Holy fuck, man! Actually, I haven't walked to school with her in a while. Now that I think about it, the last time I walked with her was before winter break. By this time, I'm virtually in front of the school. Though, it'd be total overkill to rush back in just to rush back so I could just... It'd be total overkill to rush back just so I could walk with her. Besides, it's nearly time for school to start. If she isn't nearly here by now, she's gonna be late. And if I got to look for her, I'll be late too. Feels a little bit like I'm betraying her though. With one last glance back, I stepped through the school. Oh, I didn't even give me a choice? Let's have to check up on her at the club. Who knows, maybe she started coming to school earlier. Wouldn't it be harder to get here earlier than me after all? I've got to remember to catch up with her one of these days. That's exactly what I fucking said. Sayori, when we were kids we were practically inseparable. What happened to us? Best friends forever, huh? I rest my hand on my head on my hand. Close my eyes, letting Sakudai's droning wash over me. Soon enough I can barely register the lecture going on in the background. Oh, what the hell? Baby Sayori? Or like child Sayori? Sayori was pretty cute as a kid. She used to always wear tank tops and shorts. Hair was just as messy back then as it is now. Kind of embarrassing to admit, but we thought that we'd get married in the future. Oh, wrong button. Of course, kids don't really get what marriage actually is. But we just kind of expected everything to stay the same forever. Forever's a long time though, and nothing panned out the way we thought it would. I wonder if she regrets losing contact for so long. Funny thing, how you can drift apart despite being neighbors. I don't know if I'd say that she's changed a lot, but things are still pretty different. Not to mention that I've definitely changed too. And now, Yuri. How I managed to get a girl like Yuri to fall for me, I'll never know. If anything, dating Yuri now shows how much I've changed. From hanging out with loudmouth, bubbly girls to quiet, bookish types. Well, what? It doesn't, like, it's not one or the other. You can still be friends with Sayori as you're, like, dating Yuri, you know? Like, just because you're dating, it doesn't mean you can't hang out with Sayori anymore. What the fuck? I mean, yes, you can only have one girlfriend, obviously, but, you know, like, he's saying, like, you can't hang out with anyone when you have a girlfriend. Like, what the fuck? Like, Sayori's her friend too, right? Like, what the hell? Maybe that whole opposites attract thing is true. No, it's similar to attract, because as I mentioned before, I'm actually very similar to Yuri. Not that our personalities are so different, I feel like I'm becoming more and more like her every day. Or at least I hope so. Intelligent, well-spoken, soothing. Well, it's not like she doesn't have her flaws, though. Seems like... wow. Seems like Yuri has plenty of baggage herself. The social anxiety, for one thing. With any luck, I'll be able to rub off on Yuri and help her with some of her issues. I don't expect that I'll be able to cure her or anything by myself, but hopefully I'll be able to support her with where she needs it. It's funny how much brighter the future can seem if you can be together with someone you truly care about. Together. Forever? Whoa, okay. Huh? Sayori? You said we would be together forever. Wait, so why? But that was when we were kids. Why did you leave me all alone? I'm sorry, is my friendship not enough? I don't know what happened. I thought that you wanted me around again when we started walking together again. But I guess I was wrong. No, that's... What? No! Holy shit! Is this who you really want, right? Well, I would prefer eyes and a mouth and a nose. Like... Stop, it's not like that. I just hope that the same thing won't happen to her. That's not what happened. We can't stay in the past like this. I'm sorry about what happened between us, but... Please don't break her heart like you just did mine. This isn't healthy. We can't change the... What? Please hear me out. Why aren't you saying anything? I'm trying, I really am. Please, just say something. I don't want it to be like how it was before. Don't leave me without a word for years. Tell me that you're not going to run away again. I was scared. Tell me that you can at least face me. Please. I'm sorry, Sayori. Question mark. No matter how many times I apologize, it won't change anything. We have to move on from this, otherwise we won't be able to fix anything. I didn't choose Yuri over you. I care about I care about you both, just in different ways. Please, Sayori, let's look forward to the future together. You, me, Yuri, even Natsuki and Monika. Let's all support each other. Friends forever, right? Isn't that right, Yuri? Yuri? The past is never dead. It's not even past. Huh? There's a quote from Requiem for a Nun by Faulkner. What the fuck? I don't expect that you have read any of his works, though. Nah, you're not much of a reader, are you? Whoa. You'll never be able to keep up with me, you know? I can tell that you're basically insincere every time we speak about literature. This has to be a fucking nightmare. This has to be like my own anxiety fucking this up. There's no way that Yuri thinks that, and there's no way I'm treating Sayori like that. You don't have to keep up all your false pretenses, Mark. Otherwise, you'll just come off as pseudo intellectual. Yuri, why? Well, Mark, what do you have to say for yourself? Stop! Stop! No! Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Ah! Jeez, Mark, if you wanted to sleep in class, you should really be stealthier. Sleep? So it was just a dream then? Yeah, it was more like a fucking nightmare, holy shit! Ooh, okay, that got pretty scary. And sad. But that was primarily Sayori's part. Yuri's part got scary. It takes me a moment to get my bearings back, but once my head clears, I'm back in reality. Your reality. In this case, reality is history class. How the hell am I supposed to control how I wake up? By not sleeping so deeply, for one thing. Yeah, I called your name a bunch of times but before you woke up. You're lucky that we're supposed to be doing a group activity right now. Otherwise, it might have been Sakurai waking you up with a slap from the workbook. Yeah. Very good class rep you are, letting classmates sleep in class. Hey, I can report you if you want me to. No, I think I'm good, thanks. It'd be good after taking a nice long nap too. I'd be good after taking a nice long nap too. Hey, give me a break. Need to know the school day is done and over with. Fortunately, the rest of my classes were less eventful. Now I've got to try and stay awake in the literature club. My phone suddenly begins to vibrate, and I step to the side of the corridor to check it. Huh? It's Monika. Scratch that, there's a new group chat she made for the literature club. That's actually pretty smart. Hey guys, no club today. Sorry for the short notice, but I have class rep meeting. Natsuki. Sayori. Whoa, that cow emoji suits you perfectly, Natsuki. Lol, yeah, there's a pic of you in real life? Shut up! Holy shit, Natsuki, you're way too fucking good at this. What the fuck? I chuckled to myself, and as I put my phone away, you could say I'm carrying the literature club around in my pockets now. My smile turns into a sigh though, as I watch everyone around me rushing to their respective clubs. Guess it's the go home club for me today. I'm home. Maybe I'll take a quick nap. Not like my mom's home to nag with me about it. Flopping down on my bed, I bury... There was an L in my mind for some reason. I bury my face in the covers. However, my relaxation is cut short when my phone rings, startling me out of my daze. God damn it, this better be good. Oh, it's Yuri. What the fuck? Oh, hi. Hello? Mark, hi. What's up, Yuri? Tell me if I'm being too forward, but would you mind if I came over to your house right now? Sure thing. Do you just want to hang out, or... well... This may be a bit strange for me to say, but my house is a little too quiet for me today. It's not that I'm afraid of the traditional sense of the words, but I feel very unsettled by myself. That is really weird. Yuri, of all people, having trouble with things being quiet. Are your parents not home? No, they aren't. Do you want me to meet you at the play? Do you want me to Bleh. Do you want me to meet you at your place and walk you back? We could take the bus too. Ah, no, you really don't have to bother. It kind of fucking is, but okay. It's seriously no bother, but I'm not doing anything right now, so... I'm not doing anything right now. No, it's fine, really. I want to walk by myself for a while and gather my thoughts. Well, if you're sure, call me if you need me to come, okay? Okay, thank you. I'll be seeing you shortly then. See you in a bit. So, Yuri's coming over, huh? Oh man, I really need to clean this place up. Can't help but think that would have been easier for me just to go over to her place. Oh well, I've got to take better care of my own house anyway. Can't believe how hard I'm breathing just from cleaning things up. Granted, I've really been speeding along to finish on time, but still. Right on cue, the doorbell rings. Hopefully I don't look as frenzied as I feel. Hey Yuri. Oh Mark, thanks for having me on such short notice. Ah, it's all good. What kind of boyfriend would I be if I wasn't accommodating to you? To be honest, it still feels a little surreal when I think about how I'm dating Yuri. And judging by the blush on Yuri's face, she feels the same way. Even if you say that, as your girlfriend, I should be considerate of your schedule too. Well, my schedule is completely free right now, so come on in. Yuri smiles a shy smile, then pulls at my heart. What? A gust of wind whistles through the open door, momentarily causing us to shiver. It's gotten pretty cold outside, huh? It's definitely winter, although it's my favorite season, the chill can be less than comfortable. Good thing I know the perfect remedy for that, cuddling together indoors with a good book. That does sound wonderful. Can I get you anything to drink? Any hot tea that you have would be perfect. Fine by me. I think I've got some green or black tea left. Leaf. I quickly pop into the kitchen and start searching through the cabinets. Pots, pans, baking supplies, spices. Did I somehow run out? I don't even drink tea that often. As I shove a box of cake mix onto the shelf, a couple of packets of powder fall onto the floor. What's this? I wonder if this would do. Hey, hope I didn't leave you waiting for too long. Really, it's fine. It makes me happy just being here. Not as happy as I am with you here. Man, when did I turn into such a cornball? Yeah, exactly. I wasn't gonna call it out, but then the game called it out for me. The cheesy line made Yuri giggle at least. Anyway, I couldn't find any tea, but I did find this, if you'd like to try it out. It's cocaine. I will hold the packets of cocoa powder for Yuri to examine. Hot cocoa? I've never had the powdered version before, but let's try it. Oh, your adventurous side is coming out, huh? Maybe. I'm not one to turn down a hot drink during the winter. Let's get going then. Within a few moments we have 2 steaming mugs of instant cocoa in front of us. Having just been mixed, the 10 froth swirls into a spiral on the surface. Yuri peers down into the liquid with a look of anticipation. I still can't believe that you've never had instant cocoa before. And I bet you're the type of person to heat up the milk. On the stove rather than in the microwave too. Microwaves are simply interior devices as compared to stoves. Pfft, of course. Well, are you gonna try it then? I suppose so. She raises the mug to her lips and takes a hesitant sip. There's a strange look on her face. I mean, I don't expect an instant powder to be able to match up with the real thing, but I can't tell if she likes it or not. What do you think? I don't really know how to describe it. It tastes like it was made from an instant mix. Exactly. We both chuckle at that, filling the warm kitchen with warmer laughter. Yuri closes her eyes and sighs contentedly. Okay. I thought contently, and it's like, hang on a minute, there's an extra D in there. That isn't right. Contentedly. Tracing the rim of her mug with her finger. I remember my mother making me hot cocoa during Christmas time when I was younger. Even now I can never make cocoa as creamy as she could. Don't you still have cocoa with your mom? can just freeload it off her. That's I used to freeload off of her for many more things during the holidays. Once I even ended up eating all of her peppermint bark. And I didn't know you had such a sweet tooth. Now that I think about it, Yuri has shown a propensity for eating sweets before. Well, it's a bit of more understated now, but when I was in elementary school, I definitely did. I suppose I grew out of it. Anyway, I believe that's one of the reasons why my mother started teaching me how to cook was because I was always asking her to cook something for me. Ah, that makes sense. I think my mom probably wished she did that as well. Yeah, I was quite the voracious eater as a child. If we'd been friends as kids, we probably could have eaten our parents, getting our parents out of the house and home between the two of us. Actually, I guess Sayori and I kind of did that anyway. Sayori's appetite is forever insatiable, it would seem. You've got that right. Did the two of you spend Christmas time together then? Mm-hmm. We were practically thick as thieves within a week of our first meeting. I think we spent every single Christmas together until middle school. That was when you two drifted apart, wasn't it? Yeah, to be honest, I still feel kind of guilty about that. Was it not mutual, the diminishing of your friendship, I mean? It happened kind of naturally in my opinion, so I guess it was mutual? I don't know, that was around the time the divorce was happening, so I was preoccupied with my own angst at the times too. I'm sure that contributed to a lot to it. I see. It's no wonder that you might have felt like not talking then. I guess so. So Yuri, my mom and I used to be really close back then. Your mother may be busy working now, but can you still maintain your relationship with... But you can still maintain your relationship with Sayori, couldn't you? After all, you did spend past Christmas with her, along with the rest of the literature club. I don't want to tell Yuri that I've kind of dropped off in hanging out with Sayori again after beginning to date her. Yeah, but I still feel like it's not enough to make up for everything. Like I'm not the one with problems, right? Yes, but she does invalidate your issues, Mark. I really value her friendship, but at the same time, I'd feel weird to suddenly talk to her about this stuff. How am I supposed to act all moody with such a bright and bubbly girl? No, I don't even know much about her current life. I don't know who her other friends are, or whether she likes anyone, or if anyone likes her. So it gives me the right to butt back into her life again. But if you still want to remain close to her, and I suspect you do, you have to somehow confront the guilt within you. Maybe if you speak to her about it, you'll find that she doesn't blame you for anything at all. Actually, I think that's what she'd likely say to you. Yes, Sayori is the type of person to forgive and forget. I've always liked her optimism. It kind of balanced out my occasional cynicism. Where do you think the two of you would be if you hadn't drifted apart? I don't know, really close for one thing. Probably be a lot more tired all the time from taking care of her. Have you seen the way she ran out of her house in the mornings? She can be pretty needy, but in a good way. I'm sure you're only exaggerating. After all, Sayori is a cute girl. Oh! Mark, you're the most oblivious guy in existence. If we hadn't drifted apart, I probably would have joined the literature club sooner too. Then I could have met you sooner. Who knows? In another timeline, we could be celebrating our 1-year anniversary already. Is that a relatively good? That's a relatively good save, isn't it? Maybe. I'd give anything in the world for those moments, though. Maybe we were just talking together in a cozy place. I slide my fingers between hers and squeeze her hand, which remains limp in my grip. Please don't be as upset as my imagination is making you out to be. Suddenly, Yuri pushes her chair back and stands up. Sorry, but could I use the bathroom? Of course, you know where it is, right? Yes, now please excuse me. Yuri quickly leaves the room, leaving me alone with our long-cooled coca. But why do you always have to mess things up? I put my hand down on the table, closing my eyes, letting out a heavy sigh. The table is cool on my forearms, but I can feel my cheeks heating up. What is it? What is it? Embarrassment? Guilt? I can't tell. Just calm down, Mara. Calm down. Huh? Did I manage to doze off? I must have developed narcolepsy or something. More importantly, though, where's Yuri? If she's still in the bathroom, I probably knocked out... If she's still in the bathroom, I probably only knocked out for a minute or two. Holy, it's dark outside. A quick look at my phone confirms I've been asleep for an hour. What the fuck? Maybe Yuri left already. It would be in character for her not to want to disturb me in my sleep. So I'd better check the bathroom just in case. The door is closed and I don't want to try the doorknob in case Yuri's still in there. There's a sharp inhale, like something is sucking the air out of the teeth. Yuri, are you in there? A loud yelp from within, followed by the clattering of something falling on the floor. Are you? Oh god. Are you hurt? Hold on, I'm coming in. To my relief, the doorknob turns in my grasp. This may be an invasion of privacy, but if she's hurt... Yeah, there it is. Okay, well... yeah, I feel like this is as good a place as any to save it. Oh, good! Like, holy shit! Well, Act 3 is kicking off. Act 2 was like all sweet and character development in a good way, and Act 3 is all horrible and character development in a horrible way. What the hell? Okay, well, I'm gonna end off the episode here. Hope you almost enjoyed it, and in the next episode we're going to continue with this disturbing picture. Hope you almost enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you liked it. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.